Comics Plus, Sakasan here. All right, last video of the night, unless some other emergency comes up. I'm trying to go to sleep, y'all. It's like 2 a.m. in the morning over here, trying to get ready for DC fandom, but Sony was like, not today. Um, Something's coming up, and I'm getting a lot of messages already, but it seems like there might be a little crisis in Spider-Man land again. This article comes courtesy of the MCU Direct here, that they're essentially saying that this might be it for the Tom Holland Spider-Man franchise in terms of the MCU. Spider-Man coming back to the I don't know. Let's just read this article because take it with a grain of salt. I don't know. I've never been on this website before. Who is this? What is this? But it's making rounds on Twitter. So let's read what it's all about and see what people are talking about. Thanks to unexpected casting announcements and a roller coaster of a promotional tour, there seems to be no movie that fans in and out of the MCU fandom want to release more than Spider-Man No Way Home. This was made even clearer after the movie's long-awaited first trailer, which shattered the previous record previously held by Avengers Endgame for the most viewed trailer even in its first 24 hours online. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, the movie, blah, 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 blah. All right, so here we go. This movie will mark the 6th time Tom Holland is bringing the young web-slinger to life with the MCU, and the 3rd time in his own solo trilogy. No Way Home will also be the 4th completed solo trilogy in MCU history. Wow. Which has an impact on Tom Holland's future with the web slinger is a still bit of a mystery. That mystery is one that may have another twist to it as well after new information was released to the public about his highly anticipated threequel. All right, so this is an in-depth look at Spider-Man No Way Home from Entertainment Weekly. MCU star Tom Holland referred to the threequel as the end of his solo trilogy that's been building since 2017. Interesting. On set, I know y'all can't read this, so let me just blow it up here. Okay. On set, Holland and the crew seemed to treat this movie as the end of a franchise, and that fans would see a very different version of the story should Marvel and Sony revisit Spider-Man franchise. Okay. While no plans are confirmed for any new Spider-Man movies after this one, Holland admitted that this felt something like the ending of this story. Okay. We were all treating, no, that's not how he sounds though. We're all treating No Way Home as the end of a franchise, let's say. I think if we were lucky enough to dive into these characters again, you'd be seeing a very different version. It would no longer be the Homecoming trilogy. We would give it some time and try to build something different and tonally change the films. Whether that happens or not, I don't know. But we were definitely treating No Way Home like it was coming to an end, and it felt like it. Okay. Looking at MCU solo films, only Chris Hemsworth's Thor franchise is currently confirmed for more than 3 movies, with Thor Love and Thunder set to debut May 2022. The Captain America series is in a slightly different place in this regard, with Anthony Mackie taking over the hero mantle for Chris Evans and preparing for Captain America 4. With Spider-Man's own future with Marvel remaining in flux, Holland has the opportunity to do something truly different with a friendly neighborhood wall crawler. Even though Holland said that this movie could be the conclusion of a franchise, he leaves the door wide open for more explorations into Spider-Man's next phase. Depending on Sony and Marvel's continuing relationship, the 25-year-old Tom Holland could potentially play Peter Parker long beyond Spider-Man No Way Home. This is particularly the case with the fact that the MCU is the only live-action franchise featuring Spider-Man that hasn't touched a hero's life after high school yet. Very, very important. Good point. Rumors and fan speculation for years have pointed to Marvel and Sony potentially using one Spider Man trilogy for Peter Parker's high school career and another for his life in college. With No Way Home looking to be Phase 4's biggest film yet, it could certainly set the stage for Sony and Marvel to look into making this theory a reality. Regardless of this future, the team's approach to this movie could potentially set the bar for success even higher. At I think they want to say, a feat that barely seems possible after the game changing information already known. Spider Man No Way Home will release in theaters December 17th, 2021. I hope it comes out that day for Japan at least. That's all my concern is. So, yeah, I mean, I get it, man. I know what they're saying, but look, um, it's all up in the air. Look, it's going to be the end of the high school story of Peter Parker. And, John Waits probably will not be coming back for another movie. And I honestly wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind. Like, I like what John has done. But yeah, if he moves on to college. Not going to lie. I would like to see them kind of take a break for a little while. Let Tom age up even more. He's got that baby face, so he could play young. Parker all day, right? But I wouldn't mind like seeing him in the college form, get something kind of similar to Amazing Spider-Man, the animated series, or Spider-Man the '90s series. I'm sorry, but yeah, something like that would be kind of nice, and see something develop. I honestly was kind of hoping that with the multiverse and what happened in Loki and things like that, that somehow, some way they were going to be able to put a Spider-Man in the Sony universe that they could explore a little more freely. And then they would have a Sony in the MCU area. I'm sorry, they would have a Spider-Man, in the Sony area. And we would have two consecutive Spider-Men. Both could be Tom Holland, I don't care, but basically Spider-Man interacting with his villains, not the algorithm mashup of Mary Jane, Ned Leeds, Genki, all these like fusion type characters that were created for this Sony MCU marriage. I want to see Norman Osborn back. I want to see Harry gonna come back, do some stuff. I want to see Hobgoblin. Love to see we're getting Craven down the line, but I would like to see some of these Spider-Man villains actually interact with Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? So it just would be nice. It would be nice, but maybe that's just a pipe dream. So whatever happens, but I definitely think Tom Holland's going to be around for a while. He's definitely money, right? And I know Sony would love to do something outside of Disney's influence, but quite honestly, I don't know if they really can do anything outside of Disney and the MCU's influence. Yes, Venom is making money, but can anybody honestly say that the Venom movies are well written movies? That's the thing. Venom 2 took a huge dive second weekend as expected, but they already made enough money in that first weekend. But can Venom continue? And I'm sure it's only going to be Venom that's going to be, especially because of the end credits, right? Is Venom only going to be that kind of franchise that makes money opening weekend and that's it, and gets critically laughed at each time? Can it survive just being the Transformers of CBMs, right? The new Transformers of CBMs. Who knows what's going to happen with Morbius, Craven, everything else after that. So I don't know. I could go on. I could go over this all day, but I won't. But I definitely think that everybody knows just how beneficial financially the Tom Holland Spider-Man run is. Only time will tell, and I'm sure we're going to have a lot more information next year after No Way Home is out to talk about it, and we'll be there for that, okay? Red Red Nation, stand up, speak up. Let me know what you guys think about all this information. And how do you feel about this rumor? All these rumors, all these speculations messing up your week. We'll talk soon. Bye.